You know what nobody teaches you in English class? How to gossip. You learn grammar. You learn vocabulary. You practice job interviews and presentations. But nobody teaches you how to do the one thing that native English speakers do every single day. Talk about other people. And because nobody taught you this, you sit there during lunch breaks, during coffee chats, during office conversations, and you feel like an outsider. You hear people laughing, whispering, sharing stories about someone who's not there, and you smile politely, but inside you're thinking, what are they talking about? Why don't I understand? Why can't I join? Today, that changes. Today, I'm going to teach you something no English textbook will ever teach you. How to gossip in English like a native speaker. Politely. Smartly. And without becoming the person everyone hates. If you want to learn real social English, the kind that actually helps you make friends and build relationships, then stay with me. Let's dive in. Let me tell you something that might shock you. Gossip is not bad. I know your parents told you, don't gossip. It's rude. It's negative. But here's the truth. Gossip is how humans build relationships. It's how we create trust. It's how we bond. When someone shares information with you about someone else, they're saying, I trust you. You're in my circle now. Think about it. When you start a new job, how do you learn who to trust? How do you learn who's helpful and who's difficult? You don't read it in a manual. Someone tells you. Someone pulls you aside and says, hey, just so you know, Sarah is really nice, but Tom can be a bit difficult in meetings. That's gossip. And it just helped you survive your first week. In English-speaking cultures, especially in the US, UK, Canada, and Australia, gossip is social currency. If you never participate, people think you're cold, distant, or hiding something. They think you don't trust them. And slowly, you get left out. You're not invited to the group chat. You don't hear about the Friday drinks. You're professionally polite, but personally isolated. And that's a lonely place to be. So today, we're going to fix that. I'm going to teach you the rules of gossip. The language of gossip. And most importantly, how to gossip without becoming toxic. Before we go further, let me give you permission. It's okay to learn this. You're not becoming a bad person. You're becoming a socially intelligent person. There's a difference between healthy gossip and toxic gossip, and I'll teach you exactly where that line is. In many cultures, gossip is considered very negative. In some Asian cultures, for example, talking about others behind their back is seen as deeply disrespectful. But in Western English-speaking cultures, there's a type of gossip that's completely normal and even expected. It's called social information sharing. You're not spreading lies. You're not trying to hurt anyone. You're simply sharing observations, stories, and context about the people around you. For example, if your coworker just got engaged, and you say to another coworker, "Did you hear Lisa got engaged?" That's gossip. But it's positive. It's connecting. It's showing you care. Or if someone at work is going through a tough time, and you quietly tell a friend, "Hey, go easy on Mike this week. I think he's dealing with something personal." That's also gossip. But it's compassionate gossip. So here's what I want you to understand. Gossip itself is neutral. It's a tool. You can use it to build bridges or burn them. And today, I'm teaching you how to use it to build. Now, let's get into the rules. Never, ever gossip with someone you don't know well. This is the #1 rule. If you break this rule, you will destroy your reputation faster than anything else. Why? Because gossip requires trust. If you gossip with the wrong person, they will spread it. They will twist it. They will use it against you. So how do you know who's safe? Here's the test. Have you had at least 3 meaningful conversations with this person outside of work tasks? Do they share personal information with you first? Do they lower their voice when talking about sensitive topics? If the answer is yes, they might be safe. But you still don't start with deep gossip. You start small. You test the waters. Here's how. Let's say you're having coffee with a coworker you're getting to know. You want to see if they're a safe person to gossip with. You say something very light. Something like, I noticed Emma seems really stressed lately. I hope she's okay. Now, watch their reaction. If they lean in and say, oh my God, yes. I think it's because of the new project. She told me she's been working until midnight, then they just passed the test. They engaged. They added information. They showed they're comfortable with this kind of conversation. But if they pull back and say, oh, I don't know. That's her business, then stop. They're not comfortable. They're not your gossip partner. And that's okay. Not everyone is. Move on. Find someone else. The key is this. Start with observation, not judgment. Don't say, Emma is so dramatic. Say, Emma seems stressed. Do you see the difference? One is mean. One is concerned. And natives can tell. Here's something most English learners don't know. It's not what you say. It's how you say it. You can say the exact same sentence with two different tones, and one makes you sound caring while the other makes you sound like a terrible person. Let me give you an example. Sentence, did you hear about Jessica's breakup? If you say it with excitement, high pitch, and a smile, you sound like you're enjoying her pain. That's toxic gossip. But if you say it with a softer voice, concerned tone, and a slight head tilt, you sound like you genuinely care. That's socially acceptable gossip. The tone code is this, concern, not excitement. You are sharing information because you care, not because you're entertained. Here's the technique. Lower your voice slightly. Not whispering, but quieter than normal conversation. Slow down your pace. Speak like you're sharing something sensitive. Use empathetic language. Instead of, guess what happened, say, I don't know if you heard, but. Instead of, oh my God, you won't believe this, say, I feel bad, but apparently. Do you hear how the second versions sound more respectful? That's the tone code. Natives do this automatically. They shift their tone to signal, I'm telling you this, but I'm not being mean about it. And here's another trick. Always add a compassionate comment. After you share the gossip, say something kind. Did you hear Sarah got fired? That's so hard. I hope she finds something better soon. You just gossiped, but you also showed empathy. That's how you stay in the safe zone. Practice this. Record yourself saying gossip sentences with different tones. You'll hear the difference. And once you master tone, you can gossip about almost anything without sounding toxic. Where you gossip is almost as important as what you gossip about. There are gossip safe zones and gossip danger zones. Let me break it down. Gossip safe zones, one-on-one coffee breaks, lunch away from the office, walking to the parking lot together, private messages, after-work drinks with close colleagues. Why are these safe? Because they're informal, private, and optional. No one is forced to participate. No one can overhear easily. Gossip danger zones, group meetings, work emails, Slack channels, in front of clients, in elevators, in open office spaces where anyone can hear. Why are these dangerous? Because gossip in public or professional settings makes you look unprofessional. It can get back to the person you're talking about. And it can damage your reputation. Here's the golden rule, if your boss or the person you're talking about could walk in at any second, don't gossip there. Wait. Find a better moment. I once saw someone destroy their career because they gossiped about their manager in the office kitchen. They didn't realize another colleague was standing around the corner. That colleague told the manager. Within a month, that person was pushed out of the company. Location matters. Respect it. If someone tries to gossip with you in a dangerous location, you can politely redirect. Say, "Hey, let's talk about this later over coffee." They'll understand. You just protected both of you. Let's talk about how to actually start a gossip conversation in English. There are classic phrases that natives use, and if you use them, you'll sound completely natural. Here are the top starters. Did you hear about? This is the most common. Neutral tone. Works for positive or negative gossip. Example, did you hear about Kevin's promotion? Have you heard? Slightly more formal version. Same usage. I don't know if you heard, but. This one signals, I'm sharing something you might not know. It's softer, more careful. Example, I don't know if you heard, but Lisa is leaving the company. Apparently. This means, I heard this from someone else, so I'm not 100% sure, but. Example, apparently, they're closing the downtown office. So I heard that. Casual, conversational. Implies you're passing along information. Example, so I heard that Mike and Sarah are dating. Is that true? Between you and me. This is the trust signal. You're saying, don't tell anyone else, but. Example, between you and me, I think they're going to fire someone from our team. Now, here's how you use these in real conversation. You don't just blurt them out. You build up to it. You start with normal conversation, then transition. Like this, "Hey, how was your weekend?" "Good." "Nice." "Hey, speaking of weekends, did you hear about Tom's party?" "Apparently, something crazy happened." See how that flowed? You eased into it. You didn't just walk up and start gossiping. That would be weird. Natives create context first. They make sure the other person is engaged. Then they drop the gossip. Practice this flow. It'll make you sound so much more natural. Here's something nobody talks about. Knowing when to stop gossiping is just as important as knowing how to start. If you gossip too long, it becomes uncomfortable. If you keep pushing the conversation when the other person wants out, you look obsessed. So you need an exit strategy. Here's how natives end gossip smoothly. They use these transition phrases, "Anyway." This is the universal signal for, let's move on. Example, "Anyway, how's your project going?" "But yeah." Similar to, "Anyway." Signals closure. Example, "But yeah, I hope she's okay." So, did you finish that report? We'll see what happens. This closes the topic without judgment. Example, "We'll see what happens with that situation." "Hey, are you going to the meeting later?" "I guess we'll find out." Another neutral closer. Keeps it open-ended but moves on. Now, here's when you should exit gossip, when the other person stops engaging. If they give short answers or look uncomfortable, stop immediately. When you've shared the main information. Don't drag it out. Get to the point, express your thoughts, and move on. When someone else joins the conversation. Never gossip in front of people you don't trust. Immediately change topics. When you start feeling negative. If the gossip is turning mean or toxic, cut it off. Say, "Anyway, I don't want to be too negative." And here's a pro move. If you want to gossip but also seem balanced, add a positive comment before you exit. "Yeah, she made a mistake, but honestly, she's usually really good at her job. Anyway, let's grab lunch." You just gossiped, showed you're not one-sided, and exited cleanly. That's social mastery. This is the most important rule. And if you only remember one thing from this video, remember this. Never gossip about someone's deep secrets. Never share information that could seriously hurt someone's reputation, career, or relationships. There is a loyalty line, and you must never cross it. Let me explain the difference between safe gossip and betrayal. Safe gossip, sharing publicly known information. Did you hear John got a new car? Sharing harmless observations. Have you noticed Lisa has been really happy lately? I think she's seeing someone. Sharing work-related context. Just so you know, the boss is in a bad mood today. Meeting didn't go well. Betrayal, sharing secrets you were told in confidence. If someone says, please don't tell anyone, and you tell someone, you're done. You broke trust. You will lose that friend forever. Sharing information that could get someone fired, divorced, or seriously hurt. Even if you know something bad about someone, ask yourself, will sharing this help anyone, or will it just damage them? Spreading unconfirmed rumors as facts. If you don't know something is true, don't say it like it is. Say, I'm not sure, but I heard. Here's the golden question to ask yourself before you gossip. If this person found out I said this, would they feel betrayed or would they understand? If the answer is betrayed, don't say it. Gossip only works in a healthy way if there's an unspoken social contract. The contract says, we share information to build trust, understand our environment, and support each other. But we never weaponize it. The moment you cross that line, you become the toxic gossiper. And once you get that reputation, it's almost impossible to recover. People will never trust you again. So be smart. Gossip to connect, not to destroy. Let me give you the exact phrases natives use when they gossip. These are the phrases you'll hear in coffee shops, offices, and group chats. Listen carefully and practice saying them out loud. Soft openers, I probably shouldn't say this, but. This signals, I'm about to gossip, and I know it. Don't quote me on this, but. I'm not 100% sure, so don't hold me responsible. I feel bad saying this, but. I'm gossiping, but I want you to know I have empathy. Information sharing, word on the street is. Common phrase meaning, people are saying, from what I understand. I'm sharing my interpretation. I'm hearing rumors that. I don't have confirmation, just rumors. Agreement seeking, is it just me, or? Am I the only one noticing this? Have you noticed? Testing if the other person sees what you see. What do you think about? Inviting their opinion. Expressing surprise, can you believe? Signals shock or disbelief. I was shocked when I heard. Emphasizes your emotional reaction. No way. Really? Response when someone gossips to you. Showing concern, I'm a bit worried about. You care, not judging. I hope everything's okay with. Empathetic approach. That must be so hard for. Compassionate response. Ending phrases, but I could be wrong. Humble exit. Shows you're not claiming absolute truth. Who knows, though? Neutral closer. Time will tell. Philosophical exit. Here's a full example conversation. Person A, hey, I don't know if you heard, but apparently Jessica and Mark broke up. Person B, what? No way. Really? Person A, yeah, from what I understand, it was pretty sudden. I feel bad for her. Person B, that's so sad. I hope she's okay. Person A, me too. Anyway, let's grab lunch later. That's natural gossip. Notice the phrases. Notice the tone. Notice the empathy. Practice this exact flow until it feels comfortable. Not all gossip is created equal. Some topics are safe. Some topics will get you cancelled. Let me give you the map. Safe gossip topics, relationships, who's dating, who broke up, who got engaged, as long as you're not sharing deep secrets. Career changes, promotions, job changes, new projects. Harmless personal updates, someone bought a house, went on vacation, adopted a dog. Office dynamics, who works well together, who doesn't get along, but only in private, trusted settings. Social events, who went to what party, what happened. Dangerous gossip topics, race, religion, or politics related to specific people. Never say, I think he got promoted because of diversity hiring. Never. Money and wealth in a judgmental way. Don't say, she must be rich, look at her car. Health issues. If someone has a medical condition, never gossip about it unless they shared it publicly. Sexual orientation or gender identity. This is deeply personal. Respect it. Family problems, divorces, custody battles, abuse. These are traumatic. Don't use them for entertainment. Mental health struggles. If someone is dealing with depression or anxiety, don't gossip about it. Here's the test: if you wouldn't want someone gossiping about you in this way, don't gossip about others in that way. Simple as that. And here's another rule: punch up, never punch down. What does that mean? If you're going to gossip, gossip about people in power who can handle it, not vulnerable people who are already struggling. For example, joking about a rich CEO's bad decisions. Fine. Gossiping about a coworker who just lost their job. Cruel. Be smart. Be kind. Be strategic. Your words are only 30% of the message. The other 70% is how you deliver them. Let me teach you the body language of gossip. Leaning in, when you're about to share gossip, lean in slightly. This signals, this is private information. I'm bringing you into my circle. Natives do this instinctively. You should too. Lowering your voice, don't whisper, but speak quieter than normal. This creates intimacy and signals that what you're sharing is not for everyone. Eye contact, maintain good eye contact, but not intense. You want to show you're engaged and trustworthy, not creepy or aggressive. The glance around, before sharing gossip, quickly look around to make sure no one else is listening. This shows you're being careful and respectful. Natives do this all the time. Facial expressions, keep your face neutral or slightly concerned. Never smile with delight when sharing negative gossip. That makes you look mean. Head tilts and nods, tilt your head slightly when expressing concern. Nod when the other person shares information back. This shows empathy and engagement. The pause before gossip, before you drop the gossip, pause for half a second. Let the other person sense something is coming. It builds anticipation and signals, what I'm about to say is important. Here's the full physical flow: normal conversation, normal body language. You decide to gossip, quick look around, lean in, slightly lower voice, slight pause, drop the gossip, maintain eye contact, read their reaction. If you master this physical flow, you'll gossip like a native. No one will be able to tell you're a non-native speaker. You'll just blend in perfectly. So now you know how to gossip in English. You have the rules. You have the phrases. You have the body language. You have the social intelligence that nobody teaches in textbooks. But before you go out and start using this, I need to tell you something important. This skill is powerful. Gossip can open doors. It can help you make friends, build trust, and navigate complex social environments. But it can also destroy you if you use it wrong. I've seen people ruin their entire careers, lose all their friends, and become isolated because they gossiped recklessly. They shared secrets they shouldn't have shared. They gossiped in the wrong places. They became known as the office gossip, and no one trusted them anymore. So here's my advice. Use this skill carefully. Gossip to connect, not to harm. Gossip to understand, not to judge. Gossip to build relationships, not to tear people down. And always remember, today you're gossiping about someone. Tomorrow someone might be gossiping about you. How would you want them to do it? With kindness and respect? Or with cruelty and judgment? Treat others the way you'd want to be treated. And one more thing. If you ever feel uncomfortable during a gossip conversation, you can always exit. You can say, hey, I don't really know enough about that situation to comment. Or, I'd rather not talk about that. Real friends will respect that. Toxic people won't. And that tells you who to keep in your life. Social intelligence isn't just about fitting in. It's about protecting yourself, building genuine connections, and navigating the world with your values intact. So be smart. Be kind. And use your English to build bridges, not burn them. If this video helped you understand something you've never understood before, do me a favor. Subscribe to this channel right now. We teach you the real English that nobody else teaches. The social English. The cultural English. The English that actually helps you live and work in English-speaking countries. And leave a comment telling me, what's the hardest part of social English for you? What do you wish someone would teach you? I read every comment, and I create videos based on what you need. Also, share this video with a friend who's learning English. They need to know this. This is the kind of knowledge that changes lives. Thank you for watching. Now go out there and use your new power wisely. See you in the next video.